Hello. Okay, this is the land of the free, or so we like to believe. Now I still have an injured leg. Ouch. And I'm trying to... Okay, so I have one more crystal, it appears. 98 lives, not bad. Well, I've rested a lot. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. It's actually none of your business. Yeah. Right. I always have the feeling I have to prove to everyone. Shit. Okay, which one is missing? Ah, whoa, wait a second. First I have to remember which game I'm actually playing. And then I have to get into playing it. Which I may not feel like. Okay. I'm missing a crystal. And the crystal I'm missing is in a secret passage. Now, which ones have I already completed? Because I feel like I wanted to rush through it. Okay, first of all, that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go back to this world. I'm gonna go check. Okay, it was the last one. And the last one has to be somewhere up there. Because you can see, right? I'm talking about world number 5. World number 6, the additional. Okay, now I'm hearing something and it says there's something in here. But it's saying that there's something in your dream that's disturbing you. And what this is saying is you have to sort out your shit. Okay, I have to realign. I just want the swelling to go down. You want the swelling to go down. Why? Just to alleviate some of the pressure that you're feeling due to the injury. Okay. I'm hanging a bit in the air. Okay, let's try the... Now it's saying something about honey. I don't know who's talking in myself. Right, all I'm saying is if somebody I like and know would give me honey, right, I would appreciate it. If I don't know you, you know, sometimes people give me a joint and I'm like, not sure if I'm supposed to take it. But then I realize it's probably a bit like, you know, it's like a peace, you know, a peace pipe. But you also have to realize who are you smoking with. I'm not smoking with teenagers. Okay, it's not here. I think none of these have any secret passages, and that's, I think, the truth. So I think I'm gonna stick with behaving, you know? Behaving, you have to behave yourself. And now the question is, what does that mean? Well, it means that you have to But it's about okay, you gotta die for that. Always forget. Just gonna take my time now, which I almost never do. Actually, now I'm looking forward to playing Crash Bandicoot 3 again, which is insane if you think about it. Well, that was a new one. Just remember, if the bees come, just jump on top of them. I'm starting to remember how it used to be when I played it the first time. I was never so eager to just get through it. It's like relationships, right? Sometimes you just want to get it over with. And then you've got relationships you really, you know, don't want them to end ever. Right? You just want them to continue. Nice. And that's really tough. Oh, Jesus, man. You see, I just don't see a point. In doing this. I mean, yeah, sure, I want to smoke a joint, but I don't have anything. So what am I supposed to do? Well, the answer is, you know, get used to it. So this is not the one that I thought it would be, but it's a challenge anyway. Whatever. And why doesn't the rat fall? Why do I fall? Why doesn't the rat? I have nothing to say. Do you get it? You know, I don't have anything to say to you anymore. And that's true to a certain degree. But it also isn't. You know, I often say I have no friends, and then I have them. And then maybe I have to talk about what happened with my injury. Well, I jumped incredibly high. And I landed and I hurt my foot. And there were two guys with me. Nobody pitied me. I mean, that's what it's like to play life with men, right? You know, I'm just saying, if you're oversensitive, you know, you'll turn to transgender. Because being around men is actually a challenge. I mean, if you hurt your finger, you know, nobody's gonna say, oh, poor baby. Right? That's what maybe your mother would have said. Or maybe a small child in the kindergarten, right? But no grown man. Yeah, I have to do this because I'm not sure what's up at the end of it. And if I may get to that secret passage through here. So, I mean, did anybody ever say to Luke, "Oh, poor baby"? No. I mean, yeah, sure. You grew up without parents. But you had people to take care of you. And whether you were brought up in a child nursing home, right? Or whether you grew up without any parents at all, well, you're still alive, aren't you? So what's the point of moping about not having maybe the possibility to live the life that I'm living? Well, there is none. Because there are people that are born into bodies without legs and arms. And maybe that's you listening to me. Well, tough. I mean, you know, all I can say is be grateful for what you have. Because as much as that's really shit what you have to do, let's say you've been born into a body without arms and legs, you just have to accept it. That's the first thing. Okay, what's my plan? I have no arms and legs. I can still feel though. I mean, you never know. Okay, you may not get what other people have. You may not run around with your children. I don't know. Can you have sex? You know, it's gonna be really hard. Just thinking about it. You know, just think about it. A woman also needs a man to give her something, but there are women who don't even like sex. And then there's women who love it. You know, some women just want to have a conversational partner. And you still have a mouth, you've got lips. You know, what's ugly? What's weird? Who's really a freak? I mean, who can judge that? I mean, who can say, you know, you're a freak, you're not a freak? Bam. Why do you allow other people to judge you? That's the question. Okay, I've got legs, I've got arms. Now I injured myself. And I once again realize, you know, I'm grateful I didn't rip off my entire leg. Or that it's so broken you can't repair it. And it's impossible. You cannot break something. You cannot break something to the point where you can't repair it. The spirit is... Well, you know, that's like speculation right now, right? We all have to admit that. Whatever we say, whatever we think we know, you know, it's a wild guess from, you know, this is how I feel life should be like. But what would somebody say that really has been born into a body and has no arms and legs? I mean, he's been born like this. And now he looks at other people and he thinks, well, why can't I be like them? You know, if I would have arms and legs, I could run around and be happy. Well, you've been given the chance to retreat within and to simply keep a lot of your energy to yourself and reach spiritual enlightenment. And that's the truth. And it's your... I think I found the missing piece to the puzzle. Jesus, how did I manage that? Well, at least he waits. Alright, I think you get what I'm trying to say. Ramdas, you know, he used to speak a lot. I mean, there are so many recordings, and to one degree, well, there's a question of whether or not, oh, 199 lives. There is a question of whether or not he felt like he really did this voluntarily. Because if you really listen to that guy, hey, that never happened. I think I really must be at my wit's end. Okay. Yeah, I think I made my first friend, okay? I made my first friend. Because what happened? Well, at the very latest, after I started saying, you know, okay, this really hurts, I have to be a bit careful now. Okay, I'm gonna just skip this. No, actually not. I'm gonna take the death route. I still love this game. I mean, what better to do? Okay, I watched movies. I watched Ben-Hur. Go for it, man. Okay, you listen to Ramdas, okay? He tells you to read the Bhagavad Gita. He liked reading stuff, you know? He digged reading. This level is called digging it, okay? I dig movies because I'm a child of the 90s, like, seriously. You have to understand what it was like to live during that time. You know, we just started having PlayStation, you know, when I was young. Oh. When I was young, I mean, you can imagine, what did I have? Okay, my aunt, we lived in a house with family, okay? This is like one generation now, maybe, after the Second World War. Not really, I mean, okay. My grandmother was born in, 1920. My grandmother was born in 1920. She died in 2015 or something. I don't have all these dates, but I think it's 15. Yeah, I think it's actually true. I don't know where this date comes from, it's just there. Right? I haven't talked about this in a long time. Right? And then you may think, okay, I have to blah blah blah, you know, stuff happens in your life. Jesus, that thing was really reluctant to let me go. You know, I don't know what I just got rid of. I mean, you have to understand what happens in my mind isn't what happens in your mind when you crack your ankle. It's completely different, to the verge of the opposite. And that's just what you have to understand, that my worldview, my perspective is unique to me. Right? My worldview, my perspective is unique to me, but I can share it if I want to. Okay? Let's see. if that's the good one. You know, every time I drink a coffee, I want to drink another one. No, it was not the good one. I want this one. Shit. I honestly don't remember. Well, then maybe it has to be Ruination. Totally bare, okay? Let's take it. Right? It's either take it or leave it. Yes, I want a joint. But I think people also enjoy just being alone for some days. No, I don't think so. You know, that's the great thing. I really feel like there's a friend. I can even feel him on the inside. What you have to get is, I haven't had a friend in years. I've never really had, I mean, I've had friends, but nobody really ever that tried to understand me. And of course, I was never in a position where I could understand myself. So that's a very new thing to me. I've never had a true friend. And I will always have few friends. Always. Not just few, but almost none. You know, I will keep it that way. You know, to me, you know, I just want people in my life that really mean it, that say, you know, I'm gonna live and I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and if I fall, I get back up and I continue. And you know, that's the only way, I think, you know, you can really live. So, you know, whatever parents, grandparents, you know, people tell you to do things, you do them, you don't do them. You know, what's the point? Where is it all coming from? Ben-Hur is a good movie. It's a good movie, but you have to watch it, and then you have to look for truth. How do the characters make you feel? Okay? I suggest you stick with the old ones. You know, how do these... Wait a second. Yeah, I just want to play Ruination now. I'm just playing for fun. And if I discover it by accident, you know, that's how I want to live my life, right? To a certain degree, right? You go to the park, you don't know if somebody's gonna be there, and you're gonna figure it out. If somebody's gonna be there, okay, nice. If I'm alone, okay, nice. I wanted to go to the park, and I go to the park. And sometimes there is someone, and sometimes there isn't. You know, I just free her. You know, when you start becoming, you know, let's say you find your Morpheus, right? Your Morpheus could be anyone. My Morpheus were... would be a bit cocky to say myself, to be honest. Play this game like this. You know what I could do? I could just start at the beginning and just play it all again. I don't know. If you start playing... it's almost impossible. Akira is a nice movie. The manga is much better. I'm just saying. I read the manga, I had an app on my phone or something, don't remember. Or just some pages offer these things. I think that's all for each of us to decide oh shit. On our own. whether we want to invest into manga or not. Because I'm not a great collector, right? I don't like to have my whole space covered in things, and that's why I like these digital mediums. And that's a fact. Wow, so many apples in one bonus round. No. Okay, let's see. Your life is the way it is, and sometimes you have to do things like a bonus round. That's a challenge, right? You may injure yourself, just like I did, but the injury may give you so many insights, and we just call these insights apples, right? From now on. You know, an apple, you could say, is like a life lesson. And, you know, some lessons are worth investing into. Yeah, I think you can manage to jump from one to the next. Okay. I have... Because now, okay. How do I work with experiences? I have to change the definition I have of friends, because I've been born into certain circumstances where people are very let's say hurt. I'm not sure I ever had this. Where they are emotionally hurt. And so to them opening up to friends is like they have so many wounds in themselves that they basically don't manage. Are you kidding me? I feel like I've played them all already. And I feel like there shouldn't be anything in here anymore. Okay, spaced out. What's this? Pack attack. Spaced out. Okay, just let me think. In which of these games, you know, do you remember? I don't remember. Like, there are no secret passageways. Like, just a second. Oh yeah. I have to check my food. What's happening to you then? Right? Some people don't want to give me weed. Because I think they have a feeling it's doing nothing to me anymore. It's true to a certain degree. I could say I'm just smoking for pleasure. Of course, they think they need it, but they're just smoking for pleasure. So the question is, could you do something else for pleasure instead of smoking? Well, I just drank that coffee and it does something. If I wouldn't have drunk the coffee, it couldn't have done anything. I honestly don't remember. There's one more level. And now the question is, of course, okay, that's something I could check. Are they in... Okay, that's something I will do now. Okay, I'm just gonna go through all these levels again and see if I can remember which one's missing. Because I really don't remember. I don't think I've ever had... There is nothing in here. You know, I'm really trying to remember if I ever did something so wrong that I'm being punished at the moment. Like, did I ever make such a giant mistake that I need to be punished right now? I mean... Or... Is it just all... What? I don't know. You see what I'm trying to say? I wanted to talk about something else. But now I feel like I'd rather stay silent. What a douche. Maybe it's time to stay silent. Oh yeah, is it? Who's to say? Hey, I never went into the bonus. Hey, nice. Okay, that's gonna be difficult. Yeah, I think I can skip this one. Yeah. Now it says I think I can skip this woman. I honestly don't remember. Right? I mean, there are people I don't remember. I know they exist. Actually, I remember a lot, right? Right, if we wouldn't have seen each other... There's nothing in here. Right, if we wouldn't... If we have met each other and we spent some intense times with each other, then all I can say is, you know, I'm probably looking at you from a distance. The problem I have is that I don't know if you're also looking at me from a distance. You see what I mean? You know, does everybody have the same abilities that I have? And then I think the clear answer would be no. Because if they had, nobody would be obese. Nobody would, I don't know, go to doctors anymore. Everybody would just know how to heal themselves. Right? Because you only go to a doctor if you're like really insecure, or of course you have a really, really bad injury. You know, that's my world we're talking about. Your world may be, you know, you have a bit of a fever, and what do? You run to the doctor and he gives you medication for that. While if I have a fever, I wouldn't even call it fever, right? I wouldn't name the disease. I would just say, okay, you know, I need healing, so I'm going to rest. Because if I don't know how to take care of myself and every time I have a fever, I just take something to get rid of the symptoms, yeah, why don't I just leave these? You know, if I have pains, I look at what to do with it. And then the question is, why don't other people do this? This is a very valid point. So, my conclusions are, right, everybody's different. And not everybody has access to the same information I have, but that's a lie. And why do I say so? Because I have been brought up in the same system you've been brought up. I went to school, first I went to kindergarten, I went to school. Okay, the difference I can say is partly maybe my parents, right? Okay, my parents, my mother knew some things. She never pumped us full with medicine. She did give us some things that were, I'd say, not unnecessary, but she needed them because she was really afraid of fevers and she didn't know how to treat them. Well, she had some ideas, but yeah, and that helped me, I would say, along the way. You know, her ideas on life, of course, also shaped my life because I had a mother that used to do and still does simple gymnastic exercises that go in the direction of yoga. You know, I was already introduced to the idea, okay, you can actually do something. And so I have no weak mother. And my parents were never obese. There were times where they started to be a bit more chubby, but never times where they were obese. And that's important because, of course, you try to adjust. Why do I still have this thing? I don't get that. Okay, so you are being raised and you orient yourself on the image that your parents have. You know, this is how humans are or something, right? Okay. This is how humans are supposed to be, right? You wake up, right? You are born into a body and you orient yourself on the humans that you spend most of your time with. And then the question is, I love this one, by the way. How much can you keep living your life? This is important now. The way your parents are living it. And how much, I was thinking of a different one. And how much do you need to change what you've been taught? I had to change a lot of stuff. But some things I keep. And some things I keep to myself. Wait a second. No, that's not the one. Or is it? Or is it? Yeah, I'm just very curious, right? I have what I would call Little fear. Hey, okay. Okay, that was not the one then. You know, I sometimes just sound a little cocky. Get used to it. Because I simply say, I know certain things. Right? I say, I have certain information that has nothing to do with only the way I've been brought up. I'm just building up on what I received. And that's the way every child has to learn and live. So if you've been taught by your parents how to be obese, then you have to teach yourself how to, you know, okay, what are the lessons my parents could not teach me, right? What are the lessons my parents could not teach me? That's a very important question to ask yourself. What lessons did I miss out on in life? You know, I missed out on the lessons how it is to live with people that live on the streets. I missed out on lessons to live amongst people that, you know, because I was raised as somebody who has knowledge, because he's been trained in the schooling system, and then I went to study, which means I was never amongst people that were like tough. You know, they were all like students and office workers. And now suddenly my best friend turns out to be a somebody who works with roofs, right? And you know, I also have friends that are more like scholars, but I wouldn't say, I don't really trust them because I don't know, they're not really tough people. So what I started was to orient, you know, I was looking for strength in myself, and so I looked for people that are strong. So I look for people that are strong. And then I find men that just live their lives reading books or doing whatever. And I grant them that. But the truth is, I realized that, I don't know, women to me, why do I never get this thing? Wow. Kawabanga, eh? Women to me started to be like really annoying. And there's a point where I say, okay, female friends are good, male friends are good, but there have to be clear boundaries. Okay, if I would ever be with a woman that can stand being around me, you know, I cannot forbid her to hug other men. But I could ask her to maintain boundaries. I'm not quite sure where what is now. Because that ain't the... Oh, damn it. Now I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed. Good job. You see, I don't know who's what. I have people where I would say, I think you're a friend. Jesus. And then I'm not so sure anymore. Okay, if Crash Bandicoot were Jesus, Do you think Jesus would ever sacrifice the lives of others like this just to get through it? I mean, that's the teaching. That's the teaching of this book, right? Sacrifice others to get what you want. I mean, this book, in the sense that it's not a book, I mean, I think we can all see that. But it is a teaching. Because what I have to do here, I mean, you could just say, hey, he's just like clearing away stuff. And he's hard to kill, apparently. Right. I mean, I think you get me. I get myself. Sometimes I catch myself at trying to be different, but I think times have really changed. And I'm just making choices, and I realized who to trust in what way. And although, you know, I can see that there are people who try to look like they're super dangerous, but the truth is, they actually are not. Because the way their lives, the way they live their lives is just not dangerous. I mean, I've met people that already did psychedelics for a very long time, and the only way they can do it is, you know, alone at home or in groups with others. While I simply also did it outside in forests and stuff. And so, you know, what's better? You know, I was looking for people who are strong, tough guys. And they're basically impossible to find. Okay, I meet people who are strong and who are tough. And they've survived until now. And that's what matters to me, right? I mean, if you lived your life and you turned out to be a pussy, I mean, you're not a survivor. Then you're just like a politician or someone, right? Somebody who just sits around smacking his lips at the taste of liquor or something. Right? I'm looking for the people who earned the right to be alive, basically. And who are still living it. Who managed to survive. You know, that's what's important to me. You know, what use? I'm very pragmatic. You know, I don't spend time with people who are weak. I just said it to someone on the phone the other day, where I said, listen, you know, say, you know, I used to have a friend, some kind of friend, and I just thought, you know, just if I look at what I like, you know, I like people that are tough. And if you're too whiny, I don't really like spending time with you. I don't really like spending time with you. And there was once someone and he said, yeah, because when I started studying, I started hiking more and traveling to other countries and, you know, travel through the country with a tent. And then he said once, because he was one of my earlier friends from, you know, school and kindergarten and stuff like this. Haha. Yeah, the mask won't help you if you drown. So you may feel powerful when you take psychedelics, but you'll eventually realize that there are still things that can take your life. You know, you're not invincible, although you may think you are. You know, if you were a Viking and you took mushrooms and you went into battle, well, what's the message? Well, somebody can still kill you. While the perception of your actions may be better than those of your opponents, a skilled fighter who's been trained in the art of the sword may still take your life. And you know, that's basically what this is about. We have to learn to also manage to live without sugar, or if you do like sugar and you live with it. Okay, let's see, where is this? Okay, so that suggests that there's just one before this. So now I just have to find the one that brings me to that one again. Jesus. It's like very weird. Yes, so who's the savior? You know, is the savior Jesus? Or are you the savior in your own life? Right? That's a tough one. Okay, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. The pits. There's something here. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying things. I'm just doing things. And then I hurt my ankle and I realized, okay, I pushed it a bit too far. While there's a part in me that has the feeling, you know, why did I, you know, because I really feel like I did not just sprain my ankle. I feel like I really wanted to crack it. Like there was some kind of energy blocking me from going all out. And I really, really, really feel like something was trapped in there. And now we can ask ourselves, okay, what was trapped in there? Well, we can think maybe it was just an accident. And then we can say, well, maybe there was something trapped in there. Some form of energy. And I just had to get rid of it. You know, and then I think, well, why did I do this? I didn't have to do this. And then I think, well, maybe it just had to happen so I can sit here and talk to you about why I have injuries, or that I have an injury and how I deal with it. Sure, I hate pain. I mean, I don't like it. I just learned to accept it. Right? So that's a different kind of way, you know. If you fight the pain is there anyway. If you hold on to the pain because you think something is supposed to be painful, you know, then sure, you know, your grandma just died. You know, that's painful. You know, that's painful. Right? It's an emotional pain, but only if you hold on to it. Yes. Right? And I also often have the feeling that if I meet people and I already have friends, that sometimes they try to tell me, you know, yeah, you don't need this guy, you know, just take me. But what's the point? Because, you know, to some things I can rely to this guy, and to other things, right, I can rely on this guy. And I can't help it that most people are too shy to contact me. There's basically very few people who call me because, you know, they know I can bite. And so they rather make sure that they can solve most of their problems on their own. And I think a lot of people also prefer it, but when you really need me, right, I'm just around the corner, something like that. And not necessarily just me, but who's right around the corner, whoever you want. But you just have to focus and keep going for it. Okay, I don't quite know which level is missing up there, but it's certainly a level I haven't played yet. Okay. And that's a bit annoying because I don't remember. Because I'm going through it in my mind. All the secret passageways that I know in this game. And nothing's opening up to me. And that's a bit annoying. Okay. Yeah, it's also not this one. It could be this one. At least I don't have to worry about, you know, that Akira movie. I like it, but I said the manga is better. Why is the manga better? Simple. Because it's more extensive. It has much more background information. The characters are way better designed. Often, if you've got the manga or you've got the anime, there are sometimes differences. The same with movies and these scripts and stuff. That's not the one. I think there's another one ahead. But there's still, when I say, right, there's someone that I'm still looking for. However nice friends are, right? I feel I'm still looking for a woman that can deal with having me around. And chances are I've already met her. But that's hey, I could jump in the air. You know, that's something you don't know unless you've given it a try. I'm just saying. There are... Hey! Right. Have you ever met a woman with puppy eyes that looks at you like, please love me? You know, she looks at you with puppy eyes, like real puppy eyes, like, you know, like a little child. And then she turns around and she flips you the middle finger. I know, is that good? Just asking. Do you like this? You know, if your wife would be like this, you know, she can give you puppy eyes and she can get incredibly angry, which is like, I mean, that's the kind of woman, you know, if you love me, you know, I'm gonna be super nice. Yeah, it's nice. Jesus. 27. Ah, wait, no. 14. 2. And this says 26. Okay, this reads 27, right? I just, okay. 26. Wait a sec. We've got the first world, which is the woods, and then comes the second world, which is snow, and then comes the third world, which is water. This is level 26, alright? So there's probably an order to it. Okay, just think about it. 26. Okay. How did I enter here? This is this world. Just gonna go down one more time, but there should be the snow world. Okay, which is, this is 1, 5, 2. This is then, that's a total of 10. And this is a total of 15. See, okay, I said it there. This is 14, this is 15. And I went in there and I landed in 26. Okay, that shows me something. Okay, it said, okay, it just says it's its own level, which means whatever I'm looking for has to be beyond. Beyond. I still think it should be in here. I also see visions of playing Crash Bandicoot 3. Okay. Cold Hard Crash. They always said there's something in that one. You see, that's what I mean. I'm not playing this because I think I really want to play this. The real reason is because there's something to learn here. Plus, I'm just holding on to whatever. Hey, wow. Anyway. I don't think it's in here. I don't remember. It's level 26 I'm looking for. Which means if I had internet I could look it up, but I just think, you know, why? You know, I should know how to get there. I should really know. I should really know. I should really know how to get there. Do you know? Do you know? You know, I've done it before, right? I've lived, you know, that's the beauty of the idea of reincarnation, that whether or not you've done it already, you can just look at people and realize it's possible. Jesus, what does now work? What's the matter? I'm just wasting lives. Actually not. Well, you could say so, that in a way spiritually you can die. A part of me just died, and what is that one? Which part just died? You know, the part that died was the one that lets himself be pushed around by others. And I'm still some kind of spiritual James Bond, if you know what I mean. Because I look like a random guy when you meet me. But you just can't reach me. Because, I don't know, I just see through your bullshit. And there are people that appreciate that about me. Because when I'm around, right? You know, you can't fool me. Which is why when I'm around and I have something to say, you know, people start to listen. And that's nice, because nobody ever did that. You know, I had to really fight for this ability to be able to push through to other people. Yeah, I'm not really... And sometimes you just need to do a bonus round. And you see, that's my life. My life feels a bit like a bonus round. Like, apparently I have done, you know, whatever good work is supposed to be. Or maybe that's just the kind of spirit that I am. You know, it's possible. And that's then just a matter of belief. Oh, that was something I wanted to do for a long time. Why are you in attack mode? Yeah. So I'll just flatten you with my spirit. Because I've done so much work already. I think it's in a completely different... It's like super strange. People that cling to movies, they will never watch anymore. Yeah. Yeah, these are pointless. They just... Oh, what? That was never like this. Usually you just give one. Or maybe I'm mistaken, right? You know, don't cling. Don't cling to what you think you know. Also not about other people. Because you think you may know someone, and you may even think you may know yourself. And then something happens, and you're a completely different person. You see what I'm finding in here? You know, I'm playing just levels, but depending on the level that I play, I receive apples, different kinds of apples. Some levels have more apples, some people have more lives, and some people have fewer lives. And... right? Some people don't even like apples, right? Jesus. I want to test this now. What happens if I do all of them? Wow. We could count now. Okay, 30. 17? That's a pretty weird amount. For 3 crates, 17. Let's check all 4 now. No, 69. I did that only once. Okay, 81. $19 plus 17. 36 for 4. Okay, that was just 1. Why do I go to such great efforts to create content? That's a good question. But why are you asking it? Whoever asked it. Because it's the only thing I feel like I can do that is honest. Right? It's the only thing that keeps me... again? It's the only thing that keeps me alive. I mean... it's the only thing that keeps me alive. You see, it's impossible almost. Right? If I keep running, have to stand underneath, then jump up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's easy. It should be 37 now. Yeah. Wow, he's so smart. No, I just like to pay attention, but it makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense to pay attention to how you feel and about a lot of things. But then there's also things that make less sense paying attention to. Okay, it was not that level, at least it wasn't what I was looking for, but I still found some things. What's a 7 and 7, right? Oh, OC California. I haven't watched that in ages. Hey, my twister was stronger than yours. That was stupid. I'm gonna make... I just cooked some cabbage. Jesus. I just cooked some cabbage in a pan. And now I'm going to make... well, it's gluten-free pasta. I'm not so concerned with gluten anymore. I learned to distinguish myself from the negative side effects that it can have, which is clogging up your... But I think it's actually more about the emotions, right? The feeling you're trying to generate when eating the food that you do, because usually we eat things that remind us of certain experiences we've had or times we spend with other people, right? You eat pancakes because maybe you remember that that's the food your mom made you when you felt bad, possibly. My mom used to make like a broth, right? Vegetable stock, you know, this kind of stuff. Okay, I really don't know. Or better say, I literally do not remember. So there has to be a level that I'm just not getting. But it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna keep playing until I have it. And I'm gonna then do something else again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start watching OC California. Yeah. Yeah. You see, every time I talk, I'm just getting better, right? People criticize me, you know, why do you create content, or why do you post videos that without having a lot of experience, or why do you just put out your raw output stuff, if you know what I mean? All I can say to that is, well, because, you know, I learn alongside with everyone else. And if I stop practicing, and what motivates me is to share, because sharing something, you know, brings me forward. So if I share something now with you, and then I show you what I can do next time, you can, yeah, marvel at the progress I made, and you can learn alongside with me. Because if I would have kept everything I did to myself, you know, I would have never done anything. And I simply have a lot to give, and I give it. Still waiting for the day when I can have long hair again. I'm not so sure that's gonna happen. Okay, right? It's like sometimes I'm in heaven, and then I'm back in hell, and then I have to remember how heaven felt like, and then project it onto what I'm facing right now, and then just keep it in myself so that people don't come and tear me apart, you know, like in the movie The Perfume at the end, right? You know, that's not what I want. I mean, you're gonna dissolve anyway. You don't have to have angry people dissolve you. That's just what I'm saying.